But before I get into my final question that I have to ask every guest that comes on this platform, I won't call them rapid fire questions, but I got some questions that'll come out separately that I just want to ask a little bit more specifically, have you go in depth in things of that nature, if you don't mind.
Okay, we're gonna
So
say
we'll start with some this or that, if you will.
okay.
So on air versus hosting, which one do you prefer, or which one do you like more?
When you say on air, do you mean on camera on air or on radio on air? Which on air talent?
Both, if they're considered separate from hosting.
Okay. Huh. I'm gonna say on air.
Mm.
I'm gonna say on air over hosting because I can host on air. But if I'm just hosting, then I'm not on air all the time. Like on air could be both, but hosting cannot. Well, I guess hosting could too, if it's on air though. But if it's just hosting, then it's not on air. If it's on air and I'm hosting. So yeah, on air.
Okay.
that,
Okay.
that was just like
Trust me, it's all good. Sometimes you got to go around the way to get there. You feel me? Favorite thing about your job or your jobs? Favorite thing about what you do in general as it pertains to being a journalist and being in media?
dang, these are hard. My favorite thing in media, I guess just like I guess getting to be in places that the average person wouldn't be able to get to. So for concerts and things like that, I can be in the front taking pictures. I could be backstage doing interviews with the artists. I can be just in so many different places that if I weren't doing this job, I would never have access to. So that's probably my favorite thing, like being backstage, being up front, getting exclusives, like knowing things ahead of time before other people so we can like do some type of work around it. So that's my favorite thing because this is not average, this is not regular by any means. So just having all that access.
Yeah, glad you know. Definitely not regular. Definitely, definitely not for the regular folk like us over here that's just watching the greatness. You feel
Not
me?
regular.
No, I was just playing. I was just playing. Favorite person you've interviewed?
Favorite person I have interviewed. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Let me look on my page.
You got a couple bangers, so I'm interested to hear.
Favorite person, probably Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, that sounds about.
Probably Jennifer Hudson as of right now. Because
Yeah,
I'm looking at my page. Oh no, Anthony was good too. It's between Jennifer Hudson or Anthony Hamilton.
it's crazy. That's a crazy choice to have in your favorite person, and that's wild. But no, crazy, crazy. I
They
get
were
it.
dope. They were so nice to me. Like they were so nice. They were so sweet. They were just authentic. They were themselves. Like they were great. They I love people who aren't because they always say be careful who you want to interview because or be careful of wanting to meet your idols or just people who you look up to because they'll disappoint you because they'll be something completely different. And I'm not saying just from this interview, like, oh, I know who they are, but at least they weren't stuck up or snobby or rude or just like extra. So I appreciate that. So probably one of them too.
For sure. Makes the most sense. Tell me about the influence.
Oh, I forgot about influence. I feel like a bad person because I be forgetting all the stuff. Influence. So, Influence is a top five music video countdown show that I created in 2021. I did it quarterly. So, I did 4 episodes. And then before that, it was called Carrie's Countdown, where I did 1 episode that was during the pandemic. And that was something else. I'm always like just doing stuff. That was during the pandemic. And so, pretty much, like I said before, I grew up watching One Park. I always have wanted to host a show like that. So knowing me, or if you know me, you know I'ma just do it because I'm not finna wait for no company. Or I'm not finna wait for. I'm just not gonna wait. So I wanted to do something like that, especially for the city, because we have a lot of dope artists here who I feel like are talented and have really good music videos. And so I was making influence as a way to kind of put the spotlight on those artists and make it kind of fun. So people would submit the video, and then there would be a period for people to vote for the video. And then, excuse me, when voting closed, I would do like the reveal of who made the top five in a music video show where it was kind of like 106 and Park, like a 106 and Park type countdown. The number one spot winner, they got a trophy from me, they got cash prize, and they got an exclusive interview where we would do like this really fun interview, like a game show. I had an influence wheel and we take shots if we lost, or it was like really, really fun. So I did 4 of those episodes of influence, and it was really dope. I'm haven't done it. I didn't do it in 2022, and I know now it's 2023, and I want to bring it back, but I want to do it differently. I just haven't figured out how I want to do it differently just yet. Um because the way I was doing it before with like the submissions and everything, I realized that a lot of artists, they suck, and so they don't want to submit because they're like scared or something, like they feel too prideful to want to submit their stuff, or they're too prideful to tell people like, hey, vote for me, because they don't want to lose, they don't want to embarrass themselves if they don't make the countdown. And so I felt, it started to feel like, okay, I'm relying on other people to want to do this. And like, I don't like waiting. I don't like waiting for people. I don't like relying on people like that. So I'm trying to figure out a way that I could still do it, or maybe like do it a little differently and like bring that back. But influence, shout out to influence. That's my baby. That's my little thing that I started. That was one of my first series that I started. And so now I'm on to other series. I got Pull Up. I got What's Poppin' as well now. But Influence was my first one. Shout out to Influence.
Of course, that's where it all began. What do you take the most pride in what you do?
Dude, what the heck? Um, what do I take the most pride in? Don't you love it when people like ask the question again in their head because they don't know how to answer it?
I mean, it was a
Um,
good question.
yeah, like that's a good question. What do I most take pride in? How far I've come, just still being here. Like again, I'm shocked that I'm doing all this in this city of Milwaukee, because when we were growing up, I didn't know nobody doing the stuff that I'm doing. It's like on this scale, I should say, as far as like creating their own content, but then also like being with bigger companies and bigger brands, and like being the, people would call it influencing, but work doing this type of stuff. Like, so that's really what I'm most proud of, and I'm doing it on my own. I'll say one of my really, I have like 3 really, really proud moments. Okay. I have a few very, very proud moments where I'm like, dang. And they all kind of like go together, and they all go with me saying like, dang, I'm really out here doing it. So it's whenever I hit up someone coming here, like whether it's for Summerfest or if it's just like a show somewhere or just anything. If I hit them up and I, give my pitch, give my spiel, and they like confirm like, hey, yeah, we want to do the interview like on my own. I'm not using copyright. I'm not using the truth. I'm just doing it myself. So all those moments really, really like make me feel really proud of myself. And I'm just like, dang, because that was the question, right? What was the question? Proud. What am I most proud?
What do you take the most pride in? But
Yes,
they
what I
they
take
go
most
hand
pride.
in hand, though.
Yeah,
They
they
go
go
hand
together.
in
I
hand.
was like, I don't think you said proud. That's why I was like, wait, let me make sure I'm answering the question. So yeah, that makes me the most proud whenever I get something in this industry off of just me, myself, and I just my name. So when I became a Summerfest influencer, I became a Summerfest influencer off of my name. When I got Millennium Tour passes when they came here, I got that off of my name. When I it was something else I was gonna mention, but anything that I get from me working hard and from me putting in that effort and then I get rewarded back, all those moments I'm like I take so much pride in.
Yeah, no, I it's so funny. Yeah, the pride, proud, it's fine. It all goes hand in hand. I wish I could say it was gonna be an easier question for you, but it's not. Um, what's missing in journalism today?
Real journalists, okay? Like
Talk
I
about it.
I'm so fed up with people hiring like influencers instead of journalism, like people who are actual journalists. So that's why I'm going to say journalism is dying, because to the average person, if you hire an influencer, the average person is going to think that they're a journalist, which is giving us a bad, like real journalists, a bad rap in this industry. So I think what's missing is people who are willing to do the work as far as like making sure they have factual topics, like you come with facts, like don't come with no BS. I feel like what's missing in journalism is people who actually care about telling real stories, like not just trying to ask people questions because they know it's gonna go viral, or they trying to be messy because they know it's gonna get them some clicks. I don't like that at all, and I see that a lot, mostly in like the blogs. But like I said again, to the regular person, blogs are journalists. So just all of that stuff. I want to see more journalists who are like who care about what they're talking about and who care about really keeping the standards high for what it takes to really be a journalist. Like people really put in the work in. I feel like that's what's missing. And like you do have people who are doing it. Like don't get me wrong. There are like really great journalists out there who are doing the work, but it gets overshadowed by the people who are not. So that is what I say is missing in journalism, is just real people really being out here being journalists. Because I know you saw that Rolling Out interview with that girl. Did you see it?
Which girl? I didn't see a lot of the role.
Man, it was a girl. I shared it on my Instagram story. It was a girl who's like an influencer. She was interviewing the city girls and she did so bad. And she was not a real journalist. She was just an influencer. And it was awkward. It was so awkward. And it just was not good at all. And some regular people don't know the difference. So they over here thinking like, dang, she's a bad journalist. No, she's not a journalist. Like, let's just say that one. But that's what I would say is missing. And more black women, like more black women, just more black people in the field. I want to see more black people in the field of journalism, and not just the entertainment journalism. Like I know I'm an entertainment journalist, but I want to see more black people doing politics or doing like investigative journalism and branching off into doing that type of stuff too. It just ain't gonna be me. Well, it might in the future. Who knows? I'll never say never, but yeah.
No, I feel that. Very well said. Very well said.